Yeah, Shar is actually going to ask Greg. I was just asking if we could, if a gallery view was possible so we can see all the students at once. Oh, great. So I think I'll say that we're going to go ahead and get started. But first, for all the students that are part of the climate committee, if you open your cameras, we'll be able to see you. And we've set it up so we have a gallery view today. So we should be able to see more than we normally would. Great. With that, I will go ahead and call the meeting to order. Welcome everybody that's here in person. It's nice to see you all. We'll start off with an invocation, which we observe with a moment of silence, and then we'll follow that with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Next up, we have the roll call. Clerk, will you call the roll, please?
Pheasant.
Here.
Clegg.
Here.
Halliburton.
Here.
Sanchez. Thompson.
Here.
Woodings.
Here.
5 present, 1 absent.
Thanks. Next up, we have a request for approval of the minutes from our work session and evening meeting of May 4th.
Madam Mayor, I move approval of the city council meeting minutes of the work session and regular evening meeting of May 4th, 2021.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Halliburton.
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Woodings.
Yes.
Pheasant.
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
Thanks. Next up, we have special business. First, we have the reappointments of both Ben Semple and David Rudine to the Design Review Committee for 4-year terms that will end in June 2025.
Madam Mayor, I ask unanimous consent for the reappointment of Ben Semple and David Rudine to the Design Review Committee for 4-year terms ending June 2025.
Without objection. Great. I want to thank you both for your continued service to the city on this committee. If either Ben or David are with us, let us know. You're welcome to say hello.
Madam Mayor, Ben is online.
Oh, great. Hi, Ben. Oh,
Hi,
yeah, there you go.
Madam Mayor. I just wanted to thank the city for allowing me to provide my volunteer service on the Design Review Committee. I've really enjoyed the last 3 years, my first term, and look forward to the next term and continuing to help the city grow and in a way that is aesthetically pleasing.
Well, thanks so much. We're glad that you wanted to stick around for another term. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Madam
Thank
Mayor.
you.
Yes, I heard some. Yes,
While
Councilmember
Ben,
Halliburton.
while Ben was on the line, I just wanted to add an extra thank you. Ben has participated in all sorts of different community building projects with the nonprofit sector for a really, really long time. So his commitment to building a better city exists in so many different areas. So I'm so glad that you're still a part of the team here at the city of Boise, and thanks for all the work, Ben.
Madam Mayor, Councilmember Halliburton, I appreciate it. I've really enjoyed working with all the different commissions and councils over the years, and again, just look forward to continuing that.
Well, thanks so much. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
So next up, I'm excited to name all of the students that we've named to the Youth Climate Action Council. We're having confirmation tonight of these students. Councilmember Woodings and I had the opportunity to welcome them at their first meeting, which was the day before Earth Day. And these students will be involved with our Department of Public Works, all the different divisions throughout the city, helping us think about innovative ways to address climate and policies we ought to consider, but at the same time learning about what it is that we're doing. And so really look forward to the ongoing interaction with them. And this is the first year for this Youth Climate Action Council. And so in addition to participating throughout the year, they're actually going to be helping us build the program, build the curriculum, providing feedback that'll be really important so that we can continue this after them. And so with that, I will go ahead and read all of their names. And I see some of you, I can see 4 of you. This was optional, but if when I call your name, your camera's not on, but you want to turn it on and wave, we'd love to see you. So first we have Abby Nayevsky from Timberline High School. Hi, Abby. Alekia Tanakella from Capitol High School. Asha Muhingi from Capitol High School. Jessica Abraham from Timberline. Hi, Jessica. Haley Clark from Bishop Kelly. Hi, Haley. Jaden Ruwalt from Centennial. John Harris from One Stone. Maya Mazariegos from Bora. And Myri Murphy from Boise High. And Skylar Barzy from the Idaho Virtual Academy. Hi, Skylar.
Get Mackenzie.
Yep,
Sure.
that's
Madam Mayor, well, welcome all of you who are online, and really excited to have this new youth council. And with that, I would ask unanimous consent to accept the confirmation of all of the youth council members named by the mayor to our Youth Climate Action Council.
without objection. And so because there was no objection, that means you all are officially part of the Youth Climate Action Council. We really look forward to working with you, learning from you, and helping lead on the issues of climate together for all of our community. I have a feeling council members have some things to say as well, but welcome everybody.
Madam Mayor.
Sure.
Thank you. I'll kick it off. This is always a wonderful day when we get youth involved in the actions of the city. I would have loved to have this kind of opportunity when I was growing up. It didn't exist then, but I hope that it will be valuable for you and help you, like you just saw with Ben Semple, be a person who can participate all of your life in whatever role you'd like to with the city, up to and including being elected city council member or mayor. So keep that in mind. This is a good introduction to that. But even more importantly right now for the city of Boise, you all bring a point of view on climate action that we need to hear. We're at a place in the world that we need to take action on climate. And I think your generation understands that better than any of the rest of us, because you're the ones who are going to have to live with it longer than many of us. And so you know how important it is to make sure that we take the action that we need to make sure that we can turn this around. So for me, the really exciting thing is what you can bring to the city right now on this really important issue. So thank you for applying. Thank you for stepping up. Really look forward to watching you work and getting to know you over the next year. Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, go ahead.
thank you. It's so great to see so many of your faces again. It was fun to welcome you on your first day and your first meeting. And I hope that you very much enjoy your journey on this council. I think you'll learn a lot about the various ways that the city interacts with climate, from all types of public works departments to transportation. And I hope that you really enjoy that learning. It's one of my favorite things about being part of the city, is just really getting familiar with all of the various things that we do and all of the various ways that we can make a difference. So enjoy your time. Reach out if you ever have any questions, or if you ever want to learn anything more. Various city council members have different experience, and we're all happy to share with you. So thank you for sharing with us.
You wanna go ahead? Sure.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. It's very exciting to see all your smiling faces here, and very happy that you are willing to step up to the plate and really contribute to our city in this way. It's an extremely important issue. And I frankly remember my involvements in high school, and around that time in government volunteer activities. They really imprinted and left a valuable spot in my heart. And I know that it's going to be the same for you. I think you're all going to be bringing some creative new ideas that certainly I wouldn't have thought of, and I look forward to hearing about them. So thanks so much for all you're doing.
Madam Mayor.
Go ahead.
I think that there's a chance there might be a couple more of you on there. If you unmute and then mute again, I think you might pop up. But it's so great to see the folks that are on there already. This is such an important issue, and I think that you've got a really important job that we can't do up here, because we look at this issue through our own lens and our own life's experience, and that's different than yours. And so you all bring something really, really unique to the table, and that type of creativity and that type of looking at the world differently is really how I think that we as a people are going to solve this problem. So I just want to thank you for the time that you've put into this already. It's clear that you've done work. You've showed interest before you even applied. So I want to thank you for the work that you've already done, and then for the work of applying and then being here tonight as well. You've got important work to do, and I'm really excited for the first time that I get to listen to you all present in person. If you have any questions about bicycles or transportation, please send them my way. I would love to talk with you about it. Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, go ahead.
like my colleagues, I am very grateful to all of you, and many people in Boise's future will be very great to all of you. I don't have many things to say beyond what my colleagues have said, except that I'm so impressed with each of you. High school is a busy time, busy transition times in life. There's a lot going on, and it just speaks volumes to your character and to your dedication to the community that you're willing to add this to your plates and really step forward and try to help make our community and our city a better place. So my heartfelt thank you. Good luck in your work, and I'm looking forward to working with you soon in the future.
Madam Mayor.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thanks to all of you for stepping forward and for bringing your passion for this issue to the forefront. I feel very honored that I get to talk to you in this role as being a member of City Council. And if I may make one request of you, you're leaders, and you happen to be entering through this particular issue, but something tells me you're going to be leaders in a greater capacity. And what I would ask of you when you assume those leadership roles, if you could please take a look around, who is missing from the decision-making table? Who isn't there? And use that power and that privilege that you have to make space, to reach out, to remove barriers so that more people can sit at that decision-making table right alongside you. So again, thank you so much for stepping forward. And I'm so grateful that you did. Welcome.
Well, thank you all so much. I see a couple more of you and we're able to see now. It's great to see your faces. Like the rest of the council, I really look forward to welcoming you into City Hall soon, where we can have safe in-person meetings and continuing the conversation with you for the next year. So thanks all very much for joining us for a bit. And you are free to sneak away unless you want to watch this riveting city council meeting. See you all soon. Take care. Well, thanks everybody for that. Next up, we have the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the council and will be enacted by one motion. There'll be no separate discussion on these items unless a council member or a citizen so requests, in which case we'll remove the item from the order and consider it in its normal sequence.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I move approval of the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Halliburton,
Yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Woodings,
Yes.
Agent,
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
Right, thank you. Next up, we have ordinances on first reading.
Madam Mayor, I ask unanimous consent that all ordinances on first reading be read by number and title only and filed for the second reading calendar.
Without objection.
ORD 26-21, an ordinance CAR 21-0001 for property located at 121 South Spring Tree Lane, amending zoning classifications of the city of Boise City to change the classification of real property, particularly described in section 1 of this ordinance, from R-2D medium density residential with design review overlay to R-3D multifamily residential with design review overlay, setting forth a reasoned statement in support of such zone change and providing an effective date.
Thanks, sir. And next up, we have second reading.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I ask unanimous consent that all ordinances on second reading, the second reading calendar be read by number and title only and filed for the third reading calendar.
Without objection.
ORD 22-21, an ordinance amending Title 11, Chapter 8, Section 3, Subsection 2, Boise City Code to clarify flood protection elevation requirement for electrical, heating, ventilation, plumbing, air conditioning, and other service facilities, and provide an effective date. ORD 23-21, an ordinance amending Title 11, Chapter 3, Review and Decision Procedures of Boise City Code to update standards and establish a review process for demolition activities and provide an effective date. ORD 24-21, an ordinance CAR 21-00004 for property located at 2007 South Saturn Way, amending zoning classifications of the city of Boise City to change the classification of real property particularly described in section 1 of this ordinance from C-1D neighborhood commercial with design review to C-3D service commercial with design review, setting forth a reasoned statement in support of such zone change and providing an effective date. ORD 25-21, an ordinance repealing and replacing Title II, Chapter 8, Section 5, Arts and History Commission, Duties and Responsibilities, Boise City Code. This ordinance updates the roles and responsibilities of the Boise City Arts and History Commission and provide an effective date.
And next up, we have third reading.
Madam Mayor, I move that further reading of ordinances 16-21, 17-21, 18-21, 19-21, and 20-21 be dispensed with, and that the record reflect that they have been read for the third time in full. That's a motion.
Second. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Halliburton,
Yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Woodings,
Yes.
Agent,
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries. ORD 16-21, an ordinance CAR 20-00024 for property located at 3805 North Kroll Road, amending zoning classifications of the city of Boise City to change the classification of real property particularly described in section 1 of this ordinance from R-1CH, single-family residential with historic district overlay, to A-1H, open lands with historic district overlay, setting forth a reasoned statement in support of such zone change and providing an effective date. ORD 17-21, an ordinance de-annexing 6.22 acres of certain lands and territory located within Boise, Ada County, Idaho, near Lake Moore Subdivision, setting forth a reasoned statement in support of the de-annexation, directing the city engineer to lodge and file a legal description and map of the de-annexed lands and territory, directing that copies of this ordinance shall be filed with the Ada County Auditor, the Ada County Treasurer, the Ada County Assessor, the Ada County Recorder, and the Idaho State Tax Commission, providing that a copy of the legal description and map of the de-annexed lands and territory be recorded with the Ada County Recorder and filed with the Ada County Assessor and the Idaho State Tax Commission as required by law, and providing an effective date. ORD 18-21, an ordinance reaffirming Boise City's declaration that certain real property owned by the city adjacent to Lake Moore Subdivision located in Boise, Ada County, Idaho, with an area of approximately 6.22 acres is underutilized or not used for public purposes, authorizing the conveyance of the defined real property to the city of Eagle for certain improvements, namely a buffer zone for the West Boise Water Renewal Plant, expanded park area, and a greenbelt connection, approving as to both form and content a special warranty deed to effect the conveyance, authorizing the mayor, city clerk, respectively, to execute and attest the warranty deed for and on behalf of the city of Boise City, Idaho, authorizing and directing Boise City staff to do all things necessary to close the transaction and to convey the property to the city of Eagle and establishing an effective date. ORD 19-21, an ordinance amending the development code regarding specific procedures, section 11-03-03, including changes to the posting requirements for specific application types, the radius of the neighborhood meeting notice mailings, and the timeline for submittal of administrative variance applications. ORD 20-21, an ordinance repealing Boise City Code Title V, Chapter 1, and enacting a new Title V, Chapter 1 entitled Animals, providing a title, legal authority, scope, and purpose, defining terms, providing administrative provisions for animal control contractors and animal shelters, setting forth dog-specific licensing and regulations, prohibiting animals at large, setting forth non-commercial kennel licensing provisions, providing regulations for rabies vaccinations and animal quarantine, setting forth dangerous and potentially dangerous dog provisions, prohibiting certain exotic animals, setting forth animal nuisance regulations, prohibiting cruelty to animals, setting forth regulations regarding the use of animal traps, prohibiting individuals from commanding animal to attack, prohibiting the interference with officials performing duties under this chapter, providing prohibitions for driving or riding animals on undesignated public rights-of-way, setting forth Good Samaritan protections for animals rescued from unattended vehicles, providing for determination and forfeiture hearings and appeals, setting forth parental liability for minors owning animals, prohibiting the sale of commercially bred dogs and cats in retail stores, prohibiting the transfer of animals upon public property, setting forth the non-liability of the city for the acts of its contractors, providing penalty section, approving a summary of the ordinance, and providing an effective date.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I move approval of ORDs 1621, 1721, 1821, and 1921.
We have a motion and a second. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Halliburton,
Yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Woodings,
Yes.
Pheasant,
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
Madam Mayor, it
Yes.
is with great pleasure that I move approval of ordinance 20-21.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Madam Mayor, well, first of all, I don't think in 11 and a half years I've heard sweeter words spoken by our city clerk in terms of an ordinance. Well done. Well, while it's been a long road to get here, I will be quite brief. It's great to be here with you live today, making the motion to repeal and replace our current animal code after 2.5 years of work to more appropriately reflect a compassionate animal code in line with Boise's kind-hearted values. I want to again thank our city's legal team, the Idaho Humane Society, and Idaho's Humane Society of the United States for their outstanding assistance. The only way we will truly see positive change to the way our furry friends and exotic animal pals are treated is to invoke the change at the local level. We know Idaho is ranked 48th of 50 when it comes to laws to prevent animal cruelty, so it must be done at the municipal level in this state. I'm proud to note from a good source that several cities across Idaho, one of which we heard from at the public hearing, and multiple states across the US have inquired about these changes and requested copies of the code so that they too can pursue similar changes in their cities. It's very, very exciting. I hope our neighboring cities in Ada County are listening because your citizens want these changes too. This code will make dramatic improvements to general enforcement and the animal cruelty sections of our code. It incorporates all of the changes we discussed during the presentation at the public hearing, as well as additional tweaks, such as ensuring animals transferred at the airport are not impacted by the new section that prevents the sale of animals in public right-of-ways. Some of the most important things this code will do is greatly expand the definitions of animal cruelty so that it can be better enforced, ensuring a better life for our animals. It strengthens the violations, includes and defines animal hoarding as a form of cruelty, and adds a section on tethering and when tethering is and is not appropriate or unsafe for the dog. It once and for all prohibits the cruel and archaic practice of exploiting exotic animals in the circus and other similar shows in our capital city. It addresses the humane control of our feral cat population, prohibits the sale of non-sheltered dogs and cats in retail pet stores, closing a puppy mill loophole, ends the practice of parvo puppies sold from cardboard boxes, and creates a good Samaritan immunity from penalties, damages, criminal penalties, and civil liability for those who rescue dogs from life-threatening hot car conditions. While many states have done this, Boise will become the first city to authorize it locally. So with that, I humbly ask for each of your support in passing the new gold standard for our furry friends in Boise, which would take effect June 1st. Thank you.
Madam Mayor.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Councilmember Thompson. I'm happy to support this. And for those of you in the audience who don't know, Councilmember Thompson has been really dedicated to this. These are significant changes. They're deep changes. They require new ways of enforcing, new ways of looking at this, and working through both the legal ramifications and the enforcement ramifications was a long, hard road. TJ not only didn't give up, but was very generous in taking suggestions and working with fellow council members to make sure that we got the best ordinance possible. I'm happy to hear that others are looking at it as a potential template for their own. And congratulations, good luck. And I do have to say something about your mask tonight. I'm guessing that was certainly on purpose. For those of you who can't see it, TJ has a paw print mask tonight.
Madam Mayor, I don't have a ton to add. I know how hard Councilmember Thompson, our city staff, and so many other partners, nonprofits, folks in the community worked on this one. And I just want to say congratulations and job well done.
Madam
Correct.
Mayor,
Oh, yes, go ahead.
sorry, I was a little late in chiming in. Congratulations to Councilmember Thompson. I know that he worked really hard on this. And as a fellow pet owner, I know that making sure that Boise is one of the best cities for our furry friends is of very high importance. So thank you for working so hard on this, Councilmember Thompson, and I'm happy to support it.
Madam Mayor,
Yeah, go ahead.
I guess maybe I can call him TJ in this rare, unique circumstance because it's a personal compliment. Speaking for myself, I think I learned something from you and how to get something big and important done to you. And as far as I can tell, the trick is relentless, patient, never-ending effort. That's one of the things that I learned from TJ watching this happen. He has worked for those in the communities who don't know, so hard on this for so many years. And the result is something that, according to my fiance, is truly fantastic. There are many parts of this code that reflect not only good practices, but truly the emerging best practices in standards of veterinary care, standards for animal cruelty, standards for how a moral, caring, loving, and just society treats its non-human living members. And congratulations to TJ. Also, congratulations to the animals of the city of Boise, who are now going to be living in a healthier, happier, better place for them. So this is a real accomplishment. I've learned much from it. And thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to vote yes.
Madam Mayor.
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Congratulations, Councilmember Thompson. Again, just echoing what our colleagues have already said, we all know how dedicated you've been to seeing this piece of legislation through, and I'm so happy for you on a personal level, just because we've known each other so long, and I admire you so much because I know that you're very passionate about the things that you're very passionate about, and not everybody would commit the better, well, over a decade to seeing something like this through, and you have. What I'm hoping will come from this, first of all, you are recognizing a deep value that people in our city have. I think you're hard pressed to find somebody in our city who doesn't either own an animal, a pet, or love animals. And what I'm hoping will come of this is that love of animals will transfer to love of humans, because that is one area that we do need a little work on. And I'm hoping that your improved legislation will start to spill over into the way we treat each other as human beings. So with that, I am so happy to support this ordinance. Congratulations, TJ.
Well, Councilmember, I won't be voting, but I'll echo the thanks from council. I know that our staff appreciates the work that you've done on this. I appreciate the changes that you made to clarify some of the requests in here and know that this was really important to you. And so it feels really good to see this happening. And I'll just put in a plug, since we're all talking about furry friends, that tomorrow the city of Boise is cutting the ribbon on our trailhead at Hillside Hollow behind Healthwise, the open space that has been created in partnership with Land Trust of the Treasure Valley that's particularly focused on places for pets to go run. So it's a good day for furry friends, dogs in particular, good week in general. And so with that, clerk, go ahead and call the roll.
Halliburton,
Yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Woodings,
Yes.
Agent,
Yes.
Clegg,
Yes.
all in favor, motion carries.
All right.
Congratulations, Councilmember Thompson.
Yes, congratulations, TJ. Okay, we're going to move into new businesses. First, we have 2 subdivisions. I don't have anybody right now signed up for them other than the applicant. So we'll start with staff. And then we'll have questions from council of staff. And then I'll check in with the applicants to see if you're in agreement with the staff reports. And if so, I think these can be relatively straightforward. And then with the one public hearing tonight, we have nobody signed up, but I'll check in to see if anybody's signed up for that. And we'll be able to call you. And with that, first up, we have SUV 20-10. Crystal, welcome.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, members of the council. The item before you is a preliminary and final plat for a residential subdivision comprised of 4 buildable lots on a half acre located at 5111 West Targhee Street in an R2 zone. The property is located at the corner of Targhee Street and Hilton Street in a neighborhood comprised mostly of single-family homes. The immediate neighborhood consists of a mix of single-family homes, duplexes, condos, and manufactured homes. It's a block east of Philippi Park, a third of a mile from Hillcrest Elementary School, and just under a half mile from an I-84 access point. The site is located on VRT Route 6 with 3 stops within a few blocks. The lots will be developed with 4 single-family dwellings with attached 2-car garages, each accessed from a common drive off Hilton in the rear. A required 20-foot landscape buffer is proposed in an easement along the front of the lots adjacent to Targhee Street. Detached sidewalks with landscape strips are proposed for Hilton and Targhee. The proposed unit count of 4 is allowed by the R2 zone, and the surrounding neighborhood is similarly dense. All buildings will meet or exceed the exterior setback requirements of the proposed zone. Reduced interior side yard setbacks, minimum lot size, and minimum lot widths were approved through a planned unit development by the Planning and Zoning Commission, and no appeal was filed. As indicated in your packet, the applicant's proposal complies with approval criteria for a subdivision and is in compliance with the comprehensive plan. With the approved PUD, the development meets all the requirements of the zone. As such, the planning team and Planning and Zoning Commission recommends approval of the application with conditions. Thank you, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Are there any questions for Crystal? Looks like no. All right, is the applicant, come on up. You can let us know if you're in agreement with terms and conditions of staff report. Anything else?
Mayor,
Welcome.
council members, my name is David Crawford with B&A Engineers, 5505 West Franklin Road. We are representing the applicant who is probably watching this tonight. We are in agreement with the conditions of approval as written and also with the Ada County Highway District conditions that are incorporated.
Great.
So if you have any questions, I'll stand for them.
Doesn't look like it. Thanks so much. Before I close this, just want to make sure nobody's here. All right, we'll go ahead and close this public hearing.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I move approval of SUB 21-10 Crawl Point Subdivision, Boise City preliminary and final plat at 511 West Targhee Street.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Halliburton,
Yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Woodings,
Yes.
Agent,
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
And next up, we have SUB 21-11. Kevin, great. I'm not Kevin, sorry. I knew that. Andy and Kevin is our staff member that will be presenting now. So we'll go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I think I can be pretty brief with this presentation as well. So this is a preliminary plat application for a residential subdivision comprised of 17 buildable lots and 4 common lots on 17.3 acres in an R1B/DA and R1A/DA zone. So it's located just north of Harris Ranch on Barber Drive, kind of at the base of the foothills there. I do imagine this might look a little familiar to some of you as this exact application then called Pheasant Heights Subdivision. Came before you almost 3 years ago in the same configuration. Was approved, but since then the property did change ownership and the preliminary plat approval expired. Really there's no changes to the proposal since that earlier approval, and all relevant sections of the development code, Blueprint Boise, and other guiding documents have not changed either. As such, during their meeting on April 12th, the Planning and Zoning Commission did find that the applicant's proposal was consistent with the standards of approval and all the requirements of the reviewing agencies and departments. As such, they recommend approval with the associated conditions.
Thanks, Kevin. Any questions? Nope. All right. Andy, come on up. Are you in agreement with the terms and conditions of the staff report?
We are. My name's Andy Cabianca, 323 West Jefferson Street here in Boise, representing Marquee Development. And we're in agreement with the conditions as written by staff and appreciate all their help throughout this process. The most significant change was the implementation of the wildfire mitigation plan. We've been working with Romeo, Chief Romeo, and a professional that he's recommended to help implement and kind of script that portion of it. And we look forward to a productive project here.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Thanks for working with Romeo, by the way.
Thank you.
Is anybody online?
No, Madam Mayor.
All right. With that, I will close this hearing.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I would move approval of SUB 21-11 Hermosa Hills Subdivision, Boise City preliminary plat at 2350 South Pheasant Lane.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Halliburton,
Yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Woodings,
Yes.
Agent,
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
Great, thanks. Kevin and Crystal, thank you. And thanks, Andy, for coming in tonight. All right, next up, we have CAR 21-7. Welcome, Celine. So we'll have Celine present and then Kirk Height, the applicant. Sir, are you the, great. So then we'll check in with you after. And has anybody online said that they want to speak?
No, Madam
All
Mayor.
right, this one's likely straightforward as well. Go ahead.
Yes, Madam Mayor, council members, before you tonight is a rezone of 0.27 acres located at 2222 South Broadway Avenue from R1C Single Family Residential to C1D General, or excuse me, Neighborhood Commercial with Design Review. The site is just south of the intersection of Broadway and Iowa, where the Broadway Park Commercial Strip is located. The land use designation is mixed use, which allows almost all of the zones in our development code, including the proposed C1. Broadway is a gateway corridor known for its commercial uses. The rezone from single family residential to commercial is a natural switch. C1 does allow for more uses, but they are more focused on neighborhood serving commercial uses rather than auto-oriented uses, like most of the C2, which is just to the north. The applicant initially intended to have a commercial store with a residence on the second floor, but the site improvements have been deemed too costly at this time. So even without that intended use, the rezone changes provides more of an opportunity for other businesses than the R1C would along this arterial roadway. In conclusion, on March 8th, the Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of the rezone, and that concludes my presentation.
Thanks. Any questions for Celine? Yes.
Celine, you know, we don't usually do rezones without some kind of an application before us. I just want to clarify for the record that this one is fully consistent with Blueprint Boise, has the support of the neighborhood association, and is consistent with both the vision and the redevelopment that's currently happening along Broadway. Is that correct?
Madam Mayor, Council President Clegg, that is correct.
Thank you.
All right, sir.
I'm Kirk Height, and I'm in agreement with zoning and planning. Simply, yeah.
Great. Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? All right.
Thank you.
I imagine that we're good. Has anybody raised their hand wanting to speak?
No, Madam Mayor.
All right. Well, with that, I'll close this public hearing. Thank you, sir.
Madam Mayor,
Yes.
I would move approval of CAR 21-7, rezone of 0.27 acres from R1C to C1D, neighborhood commercial with design review at 2222 South Broadway Avenue.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Clerk, will you call the roll?
Holly Burton,
Yes.
Sanchez,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Woodings,
Yes.
Agent,
Yes.
Clegg.
Yes.
All in favor, motion carries.
All right. With that, if there's nothing more to come before the council.
Madam Mayor, I move we adjourn.
We have a motion, a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those, we are adjourned. Enjoy your early evening, everybody.